Hi, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week. Um, so, this week I'm going to talk about the eligibility process of qualifying for an IEP or a 504. The way I understand the process is, at least what I've seen at my school, is that either general education teachers or maybe school psychologists or counselors will recommend a student to be tested to see if they would qualify for special ed, because they might have a specific learning disability or fall into one of the 13 categories, or if they would qualify for a 504 to see if that would help them get through their academic day. Um, that's usually how that happens at my school that I work at is they'll get referred by either a general ed teacher, school psychologist, or a counselor. And then once that happens, uh, parents are contacted by either the head of the special ed department or one of the special education teachers that is assigned to take on assessing that student. And so once they've contacted the parents, then they bring the student in, they have conversations with them, then they do some testing. The only test I really know is the Woodcock Johnson. Um, I've seen some of the special ed teachers administering those tests. I've actually given one of the teachers a break at one point because she really needed to use the restroom, but she wanted to let the student keep doing their test and not break, you know, cause them to lose concentration or anything like that. So that's the process that I've seen, and that's the way that I understand that that's how students are assessed for special ed or for a 504. Now, the difference between a 504 plan is that it's a civil rights act. Um, it's the Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973. And it was a civil rights act that came into effect to help protect um, individuals with disabilities from any discrimination. So, for a student who has a 504, they will have a, a certain disability, but it's not a disability that would interfere with their academics per se. Like they don't need, they would qualify for accommodations or modifications as maybe, a different setting for taking tests or quizzes, or, maybe they have, like the ladies that they were talking about in the video, a student has a peanut allergy and, they have to really monitor that within the settings that the student is in. So that's the 504. For an IEP, the student has to have been found to have a learning disability that falls into one of the 13 categories, um, and it's a learning disability that cognitively affects their ability to um, perform at their highest standard in academics. So those students would, instead of, like maybe having they they could possibly have a different setting for taking tests or things like that, but it would go even further as they would need maybe reteaching. They would need, or they're teaching modified, um, something like that. The way that they process the information, or the way the information is taught to them, given to them, might need to be altered because of their specific learning disability. So that's the two differences. And um, I've never really been too involved in the process of the eligibility process, but I have, because I'm a paraeducator, I'm in the classrooms all day with the students. So I will collect data for the the special education teacher that is assessing the student that they're trying to see if they qualify for services. I'll keep observation logs, depending on what they're looking at. If they're looking for behavior, they're looking for um, how their their academics, how they're doing. Keep a record of if they're turning in their homework, how they're doing, interacting with students in class. I'll even provide work samples for the special ed teachers so that they can use those to help um, have more data to as they're assessing the student for services to see if they qualify for either having an IEP or a 504 plan. So that's pretty much it. I'm sure once I get in there, I'll have plenty of experience with it. All right, thanks.